Hey YouTube, this is Empress coming in here to deliver a message that I got. Um I haven't been on in a while. I went through another transition, which I'm sure most of us that's watching that's part of this particular tribe has been going through some of the same things where that initiation took place that we were talking about on the previous reading. Y'all let me burn some sage real quick. Um I normally don't really read at this time of the night because of the different energies that's in here, but I just really feel like they can come in. But I prayed already that I pray that only those that are called upon that are welcome here come in, those of the purest white light and those of the highest order, God, source, angels, ancestors, the universe, anything that's not called on is not welcome here. Please and thank you. I have to get this message out. I was trying to make it until like tomorrow sometime, but I wasn't supposed to do it tomorrow. I have to do it. Well, today it's already into tomorrow right now, but it's during the hours between 12 and 3. And if you don't know what that means, please study the hours, the watches of the day, and it'll you can learn a lot by just knowing what time of the day that you're dealing with. There was initiation that took place. Those of us that went to the new place had some decisions to make, and it was probably before the first week of July that we really had to come on in and just decide what our decision was going to be. And it was not easy for a lot of people to let go of some of the things that were that we had been holding on to that might have stopped us from going to the next place. So this, releasing soul patterns and contracts of past lives. This was a rebirth. And I was with a few people. I actually had a birthday during this time, and it was different than any other birthday I've ever had. But I can tell it's a new life and a new way of doing things because it's just totally new. Like I was so overwhelmed and so grateful, but just so overwhelmed on the amount of love and support that I received during this time. But breaking away from the old and ascending and releasing those soul patterns and releasing those same old behaviors and breaking those generational curses was not. Look at that moon up there. That'll tell you when a lot of this was going on. It was not something that felt really good all the time, like physically, but spiritually I felt amazing because I just felt so new, like the slate was wiped clean. However, of course, those that didn't migrate to the and get initiated to go to the next place with us, they are the ones that were like, and I'm not bashing them because not everybody that I don't consider them to be bad people. They just did not choose to walk the path that we do. And some of them are not called and chosen to walk this path like at the time that we're walking it. We are not really so much the part of the regular collective. If you're really listening to this, you probably, no matter, it's timeless. But right now we're in 2021 in July. And a lot took place and a lot is taking place. Anyways, those were the ones that we had to establish boundaries with and to keep the old from trying to come back in, because some of these people weren't used to us having boundaries. They weren't used to us standing up for ourselves and being in our truth and being who we really are and not being afraid to do it. You see all those hands reaching out and you see what she's got like protection around herself. She went to a new place. Just remember that even though it seems like you don't have anybody around, you're not really alone, of like lonely. You shouldn't be lonely. What you're doing is learning who you really are yourself. You're getting to know yourself. You're realizing who you actually are. So if people start to drift away or you just can't communicate with people, even if you're surrounded by people and you just feel like nobody understands you, you are not alone. You got people in realms and helpers in realms and ancestors beside you, and people that are earth angels right now that'll come. I know I had a few people, I won't mention their names because I don't like to open people up to attacks, and sometimes that's what happens when you start when you start calling out names or whatever. I don't like to do that. Now if they comment, that's fine, and I appreciate them if they comment, but if they don't, it's okay, because I like to protect my people. But anyway, they were so good to me and so nice to me, and it's, when people of light spirits come around, because there's no jealousy and no envy, and there's an appreciation, there's a deep knowing of, there's no room for competition. They'll do things for you that you haven't had anybody that even was blood related to you to do for you, and you'll do things for them and it'll be appreciated. And it's equal give and take, like what we were talking about on the previous reading. The reason I don't have to do things back to back like a lot of people do, what you call readings, and they do them back to back to back to back to back, and they're always reading energy, but energy shifts all the time. But if a person take hold of what it is that was said in each one of these sessions that we have, you're going to be tested on it, and you're going to have to live through that. So piling all that information in at once and then expecting people to remember it, and not giving them time to chew on it and digest it. It'll be like, anytime I say anything, usually it's something that's a test that's going to come back to back to back. So I have to be careful about me just posting back to back all the time, because my gift is a little bit different. Whereas it's usually like either a congratulations or a warning to some people when I come around, and you're going to be tested. This test going to come, but it's good, because that's how you know, and that's how you pass to the next place. So it's good. At the same time, we need to be very careful, because we're new, and you need to mother yourself and treat yourself as if you're a newborn baby. Answer your deepest call. Cut things off that no longer serve. Like I always say that, but you really, really have to be mindful of that, because it'll be like to the equivalent of leaving a baby unattended right now if you don't mother yourself and have boundaries. You wouldn't take your newborn out to a place where you know a lot of people gonna be at. You don't even supposed to be out the house when you give birth to a baby. So right now we just literally birthed ourselves out to a new place, and we're raising the collective's energy. Like we're raising the vibration of the collective as a whole. So we can't be doing the same stuff and be around the same things. Star seeds, what lights you up? You need to find out what that is. We always talk about being out by water, but it's very important right now to do that. Wearing yellow too. I wear a lot of yellow. She has with yellow with bathing suit on, but there's a lot going on with the planets. There's a lot going on in the atmosphere as a whole, and the ocean have tides that come in and out, and the moon has a lot to do with the way the ocean works. So you have to be very mindful of the way you work, especially a feminine energy. And even if you're a man, you still can have feminine energy in there. So don't, like, our feelings can be used either for us or against us, depending on what we let trigger us. So make sure we're working on our heart space at all times, so that we can vibrate high enough, whereas if something is or was a trigger before, then it's not now, because the energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. See, the story is already there. I already told it. I mean, we already been seeing this, but this is like coming out again, because obviously it's another message that we needed to know. Yeah, birthing a new age. Look at those crystals and the orbs and all those things and the stars, and like, using our crystals, making our own things, and like we're coming up with things that you really can't Google, because it's not something that's popular to do. Like, people have romanticized and made it like a trend to be, quote, spiritual, but it's a mass awakening going on, really. But everybody don't awake to the same level, and somebody's got to be in place to help get the collective as a whole to a new place. And that's why we feel like we're few and far between. But there's somebody that's a part to each one of. We talked about cells and cell groups in the last reading. But anyway, we're birthing new creations in our personal life and in our spirit, and as a whole, collective as a whole. So it's like a new world coming into being. It's a new age, period. Like, period. And there's certain ones of us that has just been picked out of the bunch. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure exactly why. I don't know how we got to be chosen, but we are. And it doesn't make us better than anybody else, but it does make us more responsible for certain things. Excuse me, y'all, I'm knocking stuff over. But we have a responsibility. Freedom comes with responsibility. Anything you birth out, you're responsible for. So keep that in mind. I just came on to really just encourage people. I don't even know really why I had to do this tonight. I think it's just like some people were holding on to some things and feeling like a little lonely, because not everybody that we, or every situation we had to let go of was what society has deemed as being bad. It just wasn't for us. It wasn't something that we could do. And it might be okay for somebody else, but it wasn't okay for us, and not where we're going, not on the path that we're on. And as I stated before, it doesn't make us any better than anybody else. We're just vibing different. It's like switching the channels on the radio. Like, that's just how it is. Yeah, regeneration and orphan. It's like feeling alone even when you're around people. And number 5 probably would be very, very significant to some people. And 46. But it's a new life. Here it is. New life. New life. Heavy emphasis on the number 39 and taking a mask off. I see fairy energy here. I don't know like how many people. I won't get off into that, but I see fairy energy on here, and somebody feeling like they were left out and they were the black sheep in their family. But they didn't know that the reason that they were outcast and rejected is because it was protection for them. But now we're coming into connections. Yeah, somebody might be 35 years old. You might have been in a situation for 3 years, whereas you felt like you were in the dark night of the soul. You might be 35, 53. There may even be like 8 years that you were in something between worlds. So now you're going to transition all the way over to your new place and your new life, and be happy doing it and be in peace. Heaven is a place of peace. And there's 2 and 3. It's number 23 and 5. We're seeing a lot of 3s, 6s, and 9s. And we all know those universal numbers. But you're going to have wisdom to come from like places that you never would have thought. And people think that material things and is wealth. And they think if a person has an education or a decent job, that they've arrived. And we're not redefining wealth. We're rediscovering what wealth really means. And it's wisdom and skills and talents and gifts that nobody can take from you. You're born with them. You're born with some of those gifts. You acquire the wisdom yourself as your life journey teaches you this. And it's good to have a plus, whereas you're educated, but don't let your education, it's not going to take place. It's not going to take place in precedence over what you were born with. Because all that glitters is not gold. There's a lot of people that got a lot of formal education that's going to be sitting outside looking crazy and not know what to do, because they trying to figure out what really is spirit is not they're not able to figure out what's going on. They can't make common sense of it, I guess, or they can't make it make sense. You can't make spirit make sense, because it's not going to make sense to your fleshly mind. That's why you have to tap in. Yeah, 3, 6s, and 9s. Here we go again with the round and round. Heavy emphasis on that feminine energy right there with, I don't know, some people go into the ocean. You may find a shell or something like that. And it's like, to me, that's the world card in this deck, where it's spinning up, and chopped wood is the last card. And there's a broom right here in a pail. I'm going to go ahead and read the book on these two. I have my own meanings for them, because I see so much in these cards, but I feel led to go ahead and read what the book says about these two particular cards, because there's something in it that I'm not really just seeing clearly. So I want to read what the book has on it. It means the spiral or quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated. See, like that's the thing. We know a lot, but we haven't learned how to integrate what we know. Cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective, and that goes right back to what I was talking about with the first deck that I used about breaking the cycles and coming and relearning, like not relearning but learning a new way, learning who you are. And it might take some separation and being alone, but not necessarily lonely, but you're going to be standing alone. You're going to stand out anyways because you're not like everybody else. You never have been, but now it's going to be even more obvious. So the appearance of this card is a reminder that although it may appear that you've gone backwards, the truth is that you're still standing at a higher level, looking down on into your circumstances. You will learn something, do something better, and break a cycle and set up that you set up in the past. You actually have a bird's eye view now of your initial footprints that you made the first trip, and you can access the wisdom and lessons that you learned. If you're in a scenario that appears to be an echo of something that's already happened in the past in your life's work, it's because you are being invited to see what you couldn't see before. This is a perfect time for you to look at the deeper motives you have and attractions to the opportunities and the people who are entering your life to be a part of your journey, to be a part of your prosperity. Who helps you navigate? Who sabotages you? Who supports you? What are the familiar signs of your and your responses to them when you find yourself in a repeat pattern of the past? It's a good time to get a coach, a mentor, or someone to help you see what you can't on your own. Repeat what works, not what doesn't. Then you will free yourself from old cycles and cease going around and around. You are refusing to see your own personal responsibility. See, we talked about this, for repeating lessons that you don't need to relearn. You have to surrender now to the fact that you are the only common denominator in all these repeat performances. Be happy, for this is a wonderful spot to be in. You can now see the cycles that you wish to exit, and then once you figure out what you have the power to that you have the power to stop going around and around, you possess the key to your own freedom. Be good to yourself. It's not about the blame game. It's about accountability. You can have an abundant life filled with love and prosperity and spirit that spirits wants you to have. So, y'all, I'm a little bit I'm tired for one thing, so excuse me for stumbling all over my words some, but you see where that came out in two different decks. This is not even the same deck of cards. And it's the same message that I had before I even started pulling cards. So, I don't need these cards. I use them to illustrate a story for people to see. Not because I need them. None of us really need another tool, but they're good to have. So, chop wood means being grounded in everyday experiences. It means humility, and not in a way where you feel like less of yourself, but it's like where you are humble. We know we're gifted, but we also know that we got some stuff that always gonna need straightening out, and that's why I love to have other people around with gifts and talents that can help me out, because I have gifts that help other people, but thank God that we all have somebody else around us that got gifts that we don't have, or they see it from another angle so they can help us. Now, that's what I see with that. And it's sweeping out the old and bringing in the new too. I see that on that broom. And it's the number 42. Somebody might be 42 years old. Somebody may have been in something for a while, and they're changing their cycle. And 4 and 2 equals out to 6. And it may be like getting rid of your past, because I feel like 6 usually is past energy. There's sometimes when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to simple chores in your life. It's like the Cinderella story. Some of us had to work and toil and be mistreated and all this other stuff, and we just wonder, was it ever going to end? And you spend 40 something years in a mess, and you wondering, why is this always happening to me? Why? Because if you think about that story of even Cinderella and most stories, like of that sort, whereas this child was orphaned and then she lost somebody that was important and vital to her life and ended up being with people that really didn't care about her. They used her for her gifts. They used her for her talents. They made her take care of them. They did all this other type of stuff. They drained her. Then they want everything she had. But one day, in the blink of an eye, all she did was believe, and she was able to work some magic and end up at a ball and catch the eye of the person that was in charge, and she ended up living in a castle. So all stories don't end bad for some of us, and just like we thought they would. We might have thought we was gonna die like in the shape that we was in, and we did, but we just happened to have a body still in this realm, because the old us is dead. So we just now it's time to prune back a lot of the stuff so you can see the blooms and the blossoms that comes from you planting those seeds. Because you've had the seeds in the ground, but it just felt like they weren't coming up because they had so much bullshit in front of them. It was just kind of cluttered, and it's hard to see. And then all that extra stuff take away from the fruit of the tree when you don't prune it. So that's why we had to be cut back so many times. But one thing about cutting it back, you grow bigger and you got bigger fruit and better fruit, and it lasts a long time. So don't feel like you've been left out and put out to dry and all this other's left out in the cold. Be glad some of those folks didn't know who you were really, because they used you bad enough with the little bit that they did. No, just imagine what would have happened had they known how powerful and gifted you really are. So, just it can be something simple like pulling off things like throwing away clothes that you don't need and starting over or getting a new job. Some people might be relocating. Some people might be learning how to plant a garden. You just never know. Get out into nature a little bit more and take attention away from, the mundane things of life, like things that just be going on all the time, every day, and we on autopilot. We just deal with it. No, go ahead and find some way to engage and be mindful of every moment you spend, and grateful. Gratitude is what's going to get us to the next place. It really is. Don't be the armchair astronaut. Do you dream with wealth and big fame and big ideas and inventions and desires? But then you sit on it. You have to get out of the chair and make things happen. Take one step at a time towards your goals, and you'll get some help. But just don't go around in these circles. I don't believe if you're in here watching this that you're not. But this is just confirming it. Some of the stuff that you've been doing, you on point with it. But everybody is not going to like it. And that's the thing that's trying to pull you back into this old habit. Sweep. And I ain't trying to get off into the arts or whatever. But some people are finally coming out of I call it the broom closet. Whereas they've been like sages or witches or healers and all this. And their intentions are not dark intentions. I'm not bashing people that do it. I don't know nothing about it, but I'm just saying these are light workers that have been around people that may have been religious or any other thing that keeps them from doing what it is. They've been told that what they do is bad, or what they're gifted to do is bad, so they kind of keep it in the closet. People only bring you out when they want you to do something for them, but other than that, you're evil. Well, that ship has sailed, and now it's at the bottom of the ocean. Some of these people breaking out of the broom closet. That's all I'm going to say. They're breaking out of the broom closet, and I'm glad, because I know I broke out of mine. And don't care. Take you some deep breaths and enjoy your treasure. Get out by some water. Meditate. Just do what you do. Feed into your masculine energy. Take care of yourself. Mother yourself. Learn how to enjoy your own company. Don't always be looking for what completes you in another person, because what's going to happen is you end up being toxic to somebody else. what was done to you before, and that's what we don't want. You vibe and take care of yourself, and then you're going to draw somebody in that does that. And here it goes again. Imagine, chop wood again. The number 20 and the number 42 is right here again. Yeah, somebody really getting ready to come out. And I mean, they going to go forward so fast. This person has a string around the moon, like they flying it like a kite, like they trying to draw it in almost, like they harnessing the energy from the moon. This person has got a cloak on. Somebody getting ready to do some powerful stuff. I got some chills, like, oh my goodness. They getting ready to, like, this is parting sea, parting the sky, and all type of stuff. Unfinished symphony. They're sitting on top of the world right now, like, and somebody might be actually writing some music. And I see the number 10. My birthday was on the 10th. I see somebody that's learning a lot about music, and this to me is like the Joker card, whereas you get to go with whichever direction you want to. Be very mindful about animals around you, and then birds, and you may want to work on your crown chakra and your throat chakra. Somebody is going to be singing a new song. They're going to be doing a whole lot of stuff new. You ain't going to know yourself. Like, seriously, you're going to have to learn who you actually are, because up until now, most of us have had our egos telling us who we were, and they had been framed by other people and what they thought and what they felt like was correct. And not saying they didn't mean well. Some of them meant well, some of them didn't. But at the end of the day, if it's not for you, if you're supposed to be doing something else, then you still got to relearn yourself according to what you supposed to be doing, not what somebody told you was good and not what society deems successful. You have unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, and need to make amends. And honestly, I think this is with ourselves and coming out to be who we actually are, like learning to practice and learning who you are. That's your unfinished business. Your unfinished business is your call in life that you haven't been doing to the fullest. It's time to tie up those loose ends. Yeah, because you're getting ready to master something that is going to take you coming all the way out the broom closet to do it and go in the distance. Heavy emphasis on race forward, moving forward, because this is swift movement. This is a cheetah on here, I think. Yeah, it looks like a cheetah. Anyways, this is like really fast movement. I see a lot of saying, so some people might be going to another continent, actually. Yeah, a whole new community of people. Somebody might meet somebody that's like in another. I see Africa and I see Egypt. Like Egypt, well, Egypt is in Africa, but you know what I mean. Like I see the word Egypt in my head, and I see the word Africa, South Africa, and just like different places. Cameroon. I hear Cameroon too. Like there's some places in Africa. Milk and honey. You're getting ready to go into it, man. Like it's gonna be so much. This is an elephant inside of a bowl. Could you imagine how big that bowl must be? The rainbow. The number 51 and the number 36. Coming to the edge. Treasure Island. I mean, like, y'all, it's a new life. Like, I'm so happy for everybody. I know I'm bringing a congratulations and a warning at the same time. We got to stay humble. These gifts, we harness them, but they belong to the Most High. The Creator created this for a reason. So we're grateful for those gifts and those talents, but the humility needs to stay intact. Be confident, but stay humble. Move in silence with a lot of stuff, because this is like a zombie movie right now. Like if you move wrong, people that still sleep gonna eat you up. So you gotta watch what you say, watch what you do, be flexible, and be approachable to those that you feel led to be approachable to, but be mindful about everything you say. Oh my God, please be mindful about everything you say. Because the higher you go up on the mountain, the steeper it gets and the more narrow the peak gets. Sometimes the only thing you're going to have to hold on to is your truth. And the way you're going to be protected is staying humble and wearing that cloak of humility around you. The cloak of humility is what saves a lot of us. You don't have to say everything you see. You don't have to be seen. It's intimate groups that you might be seen in, but they gonna know, you're gonna know who to say what around. And some of us need to come out of that closet and go ahead and just come on out the broom closet and do what you're supposed to be doing for the collective, because the more we vibrate on a certain frequency, it's going to raise the vibration of the collective as a whole. And that's a great thing. And it's a privilege and an honor to be able to do something like that. And if you're still stuck on what you want to do and how you think it's supposed to be done, that means that you're choosing not to walk in your calling. That's fine and dandy. But the thing about it is, you're probably going to be forfeiting what it is that you've been trying to manifest at the same time, because what you're trying to manifest probably has a lot to do with your call. And if you're choosing not to walk in your call, then why do you think you deserve what it is that comes with it? You ain't gonna get the blessing without the work. Especially people that think, oh, I want a partner, but then you don't want to do what your call is. What if your partner is in this type of work? They're going to be a reflection of you 9 times out of 10. Even if y'all don't do the exact same thing, they're going to be open to letting you, or leaving. I ain't going to say letting you, but they're going to be open and allowing. Like, they'll learn from you, or, they're going to hold you up in areas so you can pursue your dreams and walk in your calling. So you holding yourself up by talking about what you telling God that you're going to do and what you're not going to do and all this other. You can do that if you want to, because you got free will, but don't get mad when you can't manifest what you been desiring, because you refuse to do what it is you're supposed to be doing. You don't want to be bothered with it. It takes too much work. You have to get outside of yourself and think about somebody else really other than yourself. And people will say, oh, I'm not selfish. Well, if you're not doing what your purpose is and what you was sent here and what you was created to do, you're still selfish. That's all of us, because it ain't always easy. But there's a retreat going on. I don't know. It's just time to disconnect. And I got these love cards out, but not because I'm doing a love reading. This is self-love that I'm pulling energy on. And retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world, what we just got through talking about. And it says, let your friends help you. Ask and accept the support from others. And I'm here. I'm here now. If nobody else, I'm your friend now. And I'm telling you, this is the message that I'm getting. Retreat, disconnect, get to know yourself. Because if you'll notice, that's a masculine and a feminine energy right there, the black and the white, the yin and the yang. We all got that both inside of us now. Sometimes we'll run up on somebody and then somebody will come to us that's of the opposite sex, and they'll have the same balance in there, but we'll draw them to us. See, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal from the past, you experience more love in your present moment. See? Make the effort. Y'all, I promise I can't, really, you having heart-to-heart conversations with some people. Some people, you taking a great step. You might have to leave everything you ever knew in order to pursue your own happiness, and to learn who you actually are, and to get these feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring about yourself, so that you can draw in the proper person for you if that's what you desire. But free yourself. The time has come to take back control of your life. That's why I kept saying mother yourself. Express love to yourself. That's the true love that you're looking for, is on the inside of you. And whatever you love on yourself like you would like for somebody else too, that's when you probably going to have this person to come in that'll treat you like you treat yourself. We've been told so long that it's being selfish to treat yourself well. No. When you treat yourself well, you're not toxic, and you can offer yourself to other people because you're whole. You can offer parts of you, to other people without being toxic and needy and codependent and all this other BS that we see all the time now. That really, we're not really. You can't vibrate high like that. You'll spend all your energy. Yeah, codependent shit. See? We ain't doing that no more. being addicted to the thought of love and how we think romance is and how it's supposed to be. We need to be working on these finances and career, doing our life work. Finances and career probably been a little bit shaken up right now for some people, because sometimes people have to lose everything they have sometimes for them to wake up and see and stop trying to control stuff. Trying to control everything, not letting stuff unfold naturally, thinking that they got all the answers, but then they hate the world system, but then they always go by it. Be optimistic about it, think positive, and it's safe, but you got to be cautious. It's safe, but you got to be smart about it. You got to listen to spirit. You cannot try to figure out things with your own mind. You don't argue with it. Please trust your intuition and flow with it. Flow with it. Any more messages for this? Yeah, because that's how you're gonna attract what your affirmations. You're gonna attract. You're gonna attract what you need by enjoying every moment. To me, this gives me very much so the Nine of Pentacles type of feeling. Some of us are coming out of religious, like strict religious backgrounds, and we're moving into what, our calling is, and then we're calling our soulmate. Because once you become whole, then you find like somebody else who's whole will attract to you. And those of us who are healers are very much so looking forward to that. Because usually what we attract now is people that are sick and need help. More and more toxic stuff, because we hadn't healed the parts of us that we need to really just dig deep, and they have to come rub us the wrong way and show us where we need to love, like parts that we need to attend to in ourselves. If you have children, please don't be worried about these children. And if you don't have children and you want children, I believe the soulmate that's coming, they're coming with kids, so you're gonna have a built-in children. So these kids are gonna be. Yeah, there they go again. It's going to take a little effort, but whoever this is, they're going to come in. And if y'all don't have kids together, I believe some people, this person wants to have babies with you, but they already been scoping you out anyways. They just waiting on you to get out of this other situation, because this the past life relationship that y'all ain't going to go through this thing where people got to wait and you got to get to know these people. You're going to feel like you already know them. You're going to know that it's not an unrequited love. You're going to give it a chance. There's not... I'll clarify that one. It's just going to be, it's new love. There it is. Okay, that clarified it right there. It's new love. It's a new level of love. Even if you're in a relationship that you're still in and you staying in, it's going to be a new level of love. It's not going to be this unrequited love that used to show up and you got to prove yourself to people. Folks are going to see the people that's for you is going to see who you are right away, and they're going to appreciate you and treat you accordingly, as long as you're treating yourself accordingly. But all these generational curses and family healing, different types of stuff, some of us have been doing the work. And I'm talking about y'all did a good job, because you went on to the next place. But it's going to be some family members, like blood relatives. I ain't going to say family members, because all relatives is not family. But they're going to be pissed off about it. So pay attention to the red flags. Don't be stupid now. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Be very aware of what's going on. You don't have to act out, but be aware. And govern yourself accordingly. But you're so happy, and they don't know, like, them being so clingy and codependent. Some people like the mess that you was in, and then when you start coming out of it, they get pissed off because they ain't got the strength and the willpower and the discipline to come out of it, and they are angry at you because you moved on to other stuff. They are literally angry because you're not stuck. Yeah, and you're getting ready to see you done went up some levels. You pretty much birthed yourself out, healed some family issues. You're passionate about yourself now, and you're going to draw into you just what you've been doing. You've been calling this in and manifesting this, and this is what you're manifesting now because you did the work. not everybody did the work. Some people were standing back thinking you was crazy, talking about you had lost your mind. And now you up over here having a good old time and transitioning and moving on to the next place. And your biggest thing is you feeling sorry for people that really wish you would fall dead right now. If you really knew what was on their minds, you'll stop feeling bad about leaving them behind. I'm just saying. Attract what's in you, not what needs you. Separate from that shit. I don't care if it's your mama. And it ain't always the ones that's abusive like what the world standards is. They're abusive like keeping you stuck and keeping you up under them all the time and want to know everything you're doing and want to dictate to you what they think you ought to be doing. It's okay to get advice or whatever, but it gets to a point where the person is a certain age, you need to get out their damn business. And I don't care. I'm a parent, so I can say that. So I don't care if it's your mama, your sister, whoever it is, your daddy, your child, whatever. People, we moved on to a new place and not everybody's going to be happy because they can't access us like they used to. They need a pass to get into VIP. They need a whole nother door code. They need another door key. Look, that's an inside joke. I know you watch it. I know you watch it, girl. But yeah, we need a whole nother key to gain access to the area we in now. And they didn't get the key because they didn't do the work. Some of you need to get an oil lamp. You'll know who you are. It's for a specific person. You need to get an oil lamp. And you need to study what that's all about. And Spirit is going to give you some insight that really is not really something you could probably Google, but you can look it up and get certain ideas from it, but you're going to have your own twist to it, but just look it up. And if you don't know, then leave something in the comments where I can get to you, and talk to you about it. Because you're a person that works with fire and ethers. And so like candles, lamps, anything that deals with light, you'll be good at it. You might be a fire sign. I see Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius type of energy. And if you're not a fire sign, like a sun sign, you are like the sun sign is fire sign. You probably got fire in your chart somewhere, and it may even be in your north node. So you need to be mindful of that. This thing won't get stuck. But yeah, like oil lamps. I just hear oil lamps. That may be another thing that's going to help lead you out of that broom closet and being stuck in there too. And it's going to speed up some things for a lot of people. That might be one person. I don't know. Anyway, if that's you, hit me up so I can try to help you, and then for the most part, pray and meditate so you can get answers straight from the source about what you need to be doing, because it's just time. And we can't leave out of here without getting us a card about our health. I know it's long, y'all, but I do long reading. See, loneliness right on the top. Loneliness is a disease. Dis-ease. You're not at ease. If a person always got to have something going all the time, something playing all the time, some noise all the time, got to be around people all the time and all that, that's not always... I'm not saying it's bad to be around people, because we're supposed to be social creatures, and it's really easy for somebody that's an introvert to not be around other people and not be lonely. But there are some people that's lonely, that's surrounded by people, a lot of people, and they are so lonely because nobody understands. They feel like nobody understands. It's sad because they're fearful to even say anything. They can't be themselves around these people because they feel like it wouldn't be approved. And that's that healer and teachers and spiritual people. And it doesn't really have to be that. It can just be anything. These people are fearful of being themselves because they don't think they're going to be approved. So it messes their root chakra, their third eye, their solar plexus, just messing it up. So do some solar plexus work. I've been running around looking like an Easter egg. This to me is like, when you say blame, accept your own responsibility for where it is that you are and what you're doing. Regardless of what anybody else has done, you can make choices, especially if you're over a certain age, you can make choices to do. I just keep seeing success everywhere. No greater success than love. But please work on your solar plexus and your heart space right now. Balance. Bring a state of perfect harmony into my world. I do so without judgment to yourself and humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life and denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight and awareness. So please work on your third eye, your heart space, and your solar plexus. Really, it'd be good to balance all of them because I'm seeing like a lot of sacral area energy in here too, and throat chakra. So just work on balancing your energy stations in your body. Yeah, and come out of that regret. You can't change the past, but you can learn from it. It's not a mistake if you learn from it. Just don't repeat the cycle. And it's not always easy. And if you need somebody to help keep you accountable, to keep from doing, let somebody you can trust or know, like, look, hey, I need help with this. And if a person don't want to help and they dragging you to do something that you know you don't do no more, that ain't your friend, and you need to get away from them as quickly as you possibly can. Your legs can carry you. Stop answering the damn phone for some of them bitter ass folks that don't want you to go to the next place. They so jealous. They don't want to do what you're doing, but they want to get the result that you're getting. And this is a place you can't ride in on nobody on their skirts here. It ain't no more of that going on. You got to go for yourself. Yep, the Wheel of Fortune. This is the last cards, y'all, I'm pulling. Wheel of Fortune. You get to choose. It's ever-changing cycles of life, both good and bad. Your luck is turning in a new phase of life beginning. The period of personal growth and extreme change. Success after having some failures. Destiny and fate will allow you very little control over the coming events. All you can do is go with the flow. When we talked about the flow and not having to know and not having to control, the promise of a better future is right here though. And get the Lover's card. This is a partnership. This is business. It's physical beauty. You're going to look better. You're going to feel better. It's a beautiful soul. The beginning of a romance, attraction, sexuality, lust, love, and relationships working. But you must leave your parents. You see that? You must leave your parents. It represents a good period of times, close friendships, adventures, and important decisions being made. It also represents the masculine and feminine balancing itself out and being blessed. You see this angel up here, this blessing it. And also it represents couples. It can be couples too. Also, you could be a Gemini. I see Gemini all over that. And quick moving. And this Empress energy all over the place. Anything is possible. It's a good time to begin new projects and go into a new place. You're going to be highly fertile. So if you don't want a baby, please take precautions because it's natural and spirit stuff. So it's like fertility is assured. You're going to be fruitful. And if it's not having a baby fruitful, it's going to be some other way of being fruitful. And I believe that some of us is going to have like best of both of those worlds. Like some people are still having babies and want to have babies, and I think that's going to happen. It may not happen a conventional way. It may not even be biologically your child, but this child is spiritually yours very much so, and you're supposed to come into contact with them. And the reason for it is because you're supposed to help train this child, and the family they were born in really was just was born in that family to break a generational curse. That's the only reason they was in that bloodline. That your child just born of another bloodline. Physical beauty, beauty of the soul, beginning of a new romance, a temptation, attraction, sexuality. In order for a relationship to work, you must leave your parents. I see that. I see that. Wow. Personal growth, self-development, and success brings freedom. Material comfort, security, protection, wealth, separate from your roots. You hear that? Separate from your roots, because some people broke a poverty mindset and a generational curse of poverty in their family. So you're going to be the first to do a lot of stuff, especially the first to be probably a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. You know, you're going to be the first, and it's not coming from, you're separate from the roots, but you have a sense of your own self. You spend a much time indoors, though you need to get out more, and, you know, it does represent a lot of pleasure, sexual pleasure and fertility. You will be in good health and better health, though. And if you do have children, your relationship with your children is getting closer. But this person is pregnant, and I will say this again: if you're watching this and you don't want to have a baby, Please take precautions, because I see a lot of babies trying to come through to this realm through these empresses. And if you don't want a baby, you need to make sure that you either don't be having sex, or strap up, because this little right here, this little hole right here will come and have you stuck with a baby. And you're an empress. Now that would not look good. You went through a lot, but you're coming out on the other side. You're going to have some good fortune because you went through enough. You paid it forward. And justice is going to be coming. This also can mean a person that's outgoing, and this could be you being new, coming into your newness or whatever. But I also sense that two energies in there, whereas that you need to be careful if you're dealing with some fuckboy energy. Please don't do that. That's an old cycle for you. Don't do it. I can't tell you what to do. I can advise you, don't do it. Be strong. You're strong enough to do it. You're strong enough to do it. Yep, there she is again. World card. Equal give and takes. Creative ventures. So some of us are getting ready to birth out business after business after business. You just have to be patient with yourself and don't waste your energy on things, places, and people that you already know is not going to be working. You already can see that it ain't going to work. You know it ain't going to be right. Yeah, I see Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I see a lot of Oshun energy right here. And here he is out here again. So you could actually be under the age of 30 and, you know, you have like a outgoing personality and it's good. You might, you know, but you're getting ready to go into a more mature state of that. So if you're too flighty right now and you need to settle a little bit, you're going to start doing that. You're going to still be adventurous, but not to the point where it makes you flighty. You're going to learn how to be mindful with your money, how to save, and how to invest. Yeah, because this King of Pentacles energy, be it male or female, that's the energy that's coming in. And if you're Empress, King of Pentacles is not a bad catch, actually. Because, yeah, he's not a bad catch. And, you know, we don't do sex. We just do energy. So it could be male or female, y'all. Yeah, the Chariot. And this could be a Cancer or a Scorpio. I see Cancer all over this card. But this is balancing your masculine and feminine, moving fast, being confident. It's swift movement. Somebody may be getting a new car. Guard against arrogance, though. Your reputation will be established, but just respect, you know that respect is earned. Somebody may be getting a new car and doing some traveling, but I see a new car, and I knew I was going to pull that Nine of Pentacles because I saw it in the other day. This is a happily single person right here, too. You have money and possessions. They're all safe. You're cautious, you're disciplined, you're watching out for your financial interests. You're relying on your own instincts and your own research, just like I said about that oil lamp. Like, you're relying on your own research. Good. Thank God for Google, but dig deeper than what the definition that they give you for stuff. Look for the clues. Look for the spirit talking to you and telling you what's inside of there. Look deeper. Don't trust financial advisors. You might come into a large lump sum of money. Maybe an inheritance or a lottery, or like win a lot of money at a casino or something, or an investment might pay off. Some of us need to get into I hear cryptocurrency, heavy emphasis on that. Investments. Invest in yourself too. Because if you invest in yourself, there's going to be a major harvest to come out. Be emotionally balanced and make sure that your your finances are turning around because you're building this business. So might not start off at the top, but trust me, you're going to learn and you're going to have some goals that you reach. Keep your feelings all and your emotions balanced. You don't want something harsh to have to come up and teach you how to hold your cards close to your heart and be. You don't want to have to do that. You want to be able to be free and know what's coming, but not have to tell everything. There go that masculine and feminine again. The tower moment might have to come for people to learn to move in silence, but it's okay. It's gonna be quick. That betrayal will be quick and stab. You probably already know who it is and where it's gonna come from, but you're gonna get this equal give and take given back to you after you come out of this state of betrayal. It looks like you down and out, but after this tower happens, but you gain some wisdom during that time. If it's not a past energy and you already went through this, you're a magician. You can create whatever life you want. Well, okay, y'all, we 55 minutes in, so I don't feel like there's any other messages to get out. I feel like this is just something that I needed to just go ahead and do. I just felt like it just did not need to wait. Maybe somebody by tomorrow, this might encourage somebody that wakes up and sees this. You know, it'll be loaded, because the last video I did took like 2-3 days to load, and you know it was some warfare going on, because it know what was supposed to take a few minutes took 2 days. So that being said, y'all have a good night, and I'm sending y'all love and light, because we sure need it. And congratulations on the integration, and congratulations on your new place. Like, and literally, you know, we crossed over. So I'm proud of everybody. If you have any questions, put it in the comments, and I do read the comments. So thank you, and have a good day, night, whatever it is, wherever you at, whenever you're there. Love y'all.